Hello and welcome to another Arkis video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Trial Mountain and we are in the 1997 Toyota Supra GT500 and we are on racing hard tires. And I heard both Titsny and Key say that this was a rather easy challenge because, as they said, we've all done plenty of Group 3 on Trial Mountain. Well, I'm not one of those people, so I had to work hard for this one. I did an hour in flat screen on Thursday night, and then on Friday morning I went back in VR to see if I could improve further. And if this is your first time watching one of these videos and you found yourself entertained by the end, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's get on to my first wobbly attempts. So we are jumping into the sport mode section. I was actually quite pleased and surprised that I managed to stay in the top 400 in that Fuji challenge, as I only did it the first day before going on Christmas holiday. But now for my first attempts here. And I can already tell you that it took me quite some time to even get a lap in. First I failed to brake and turn in time for turn 1. And then I am running off the track coming out of the tunnel, hitting this wall as well. And then I am running off the track coming out of the tunnel. And finally I am running off the track coming out of that tunnel. But eventually I managed to survive a full lap. I am looking for these orange tent-like thingies on the left-hand side. Sort of making turn 1 this time, managed to stay to the right, so I have some room for the final left-hander coming into the tunnel down to 3rd gear, and I'm doing as Titsny was suggesting, up to 4th gear on the exit there. And I was trying to look for that rock, but it actually was better to me to look for that green stuff before the rock. You can see I have some slow reaction times, and then it's actually easier to find a brake marker slightly earlier than the ones suggested in the top drivers lap guides. And we are coming into the tunnel here, and once again there's that yellow sign, but I found that big rock and the tree just before it as a better marker for me, because once again, because of my reaction time, you can see I was coming in a bit deep into the long bank corner. So that's the best advice from me to all of you. Also fighting to find some pace. If you keep overshooting, find some other brake markers, because it's usually because we are just getting old and not reacting as fast. I am just going to talk over this lap because this is definitely nothing to write home about. I am making my way through the final chicane, and let's just get across the finish line to get our first lap in, and it's going to be a 1:55.209. On the following lap I hit the wall, so we have to go out. This is not even close to the 3% yet, so we just have to keep going. This time I am getting an alright entry into this corner, but somehow I managed to mess it up along the way, and I am going to get a slow exit. I think I was just turning in to this left-hander too late, and now I'm starting to use that green bush instead of the rock, and sort of finding the apex there. And I'm also braking a fraction earlier, I think this time, getting closer to the inside, up to 4th gear out of this corner. And now we are coming into the final chicane. I'm just trying to focus on the exit. It's easy to spin the rear wheels. I'm up to 3rd gear, just trying to get a straight line out onto the final straight, and we are down to 1:53.9. But unfortunately I am going to mess up the first corners. I fail completely to turn in. I'm going to cut the track, so let's just park the car carefully into the wall and let's have a look. It's still only a silver time. I've done 13 minutes now, so we are going again. This time I am braking a bit too late for the first entry, so I'm getting a bad line through the following corners. You can see I cannot keep the car towards the right hand side, so narrow entry into the left hander. But now we make it as far as the tunnel. Now I'm trying to compensate, only to overshoot, and just remember, once you've lost time, you cannot just regain it. You'll just lose even more time. But towards the end of the lap, I must have done something better compared to the previous run, at least in this session. So coming onto the final straight, we're down to a 1:53.6, so that was only just a goal time. After a couple of unsuccessful laps, this is going to be better. I'm not overshooting turn 1 this time like I did on my previous best attempt, so if I can just maintain this, there will be an improvement already. We are getting through the tunnel and we are jumping ahead on this lap. Now we are coming into the banked corner. I'm still keeping it together. I'm still up. The delta is still blue, briefly turning red there, but it's still blue coming up the hill, and we are coming across the line in a 1:53.230. So that was a good improvement. We are going to park the car and let's have a look. Now it's a goal time, 2.5%. I would like to see if I could improve some more, but it is starting to get late. I am starting to get tired. The improvements are getting smaller, and I swear the walls have started moving as well. So I get an invalidated lap there. I've got 20 minutes to go. So we try a bit more. Now the improvements are really getting small. But on this lap, we actually managed to get into the 52s. We do a decent job of turn 1. I could have cut a bit more of that first part of the corner, so it wasn't the best run through there into the tunnel, down to 3rd gear, back up to 4th gear on the exit, and we are jumping to the banked corner, trying to seek towards the inside, get a good run out of here, straighten up the steering so the car doesn't spin over the hill into the chicane. Just keep it cool. Use the weight transfer, flick the car over as you upshift up to 3rd gear so you can get back on the power. And we are down into a 1:52.841. Unfortunately, I am going to miss turn 1, so we are parking the car into the wall. And let's have a look. I think we've got 10 minutes to go, but no concentration left in my old brain. However, I tried a bit more, and after some failed attempts, I got the last very tiny improvement of this Thursday evening. We are surviving the first corners, and as we come across the line, that is 0.003 of a second faster, and a wall to finish off that Thursday night. So I am parking the car, and I am going to turn off the PlayStation for now. But now it's Friday morning. I am in the VR headset, and let's see what we can do now. As usual, it took some time for me to match my flat screen time. I always need to adjust a bit to the VR headset. But eventually we started to get going. It's easier to see how much you are steering. This is very important in basically every race car, rear wheel drive race car. You need to straighten out the steering when you get full on the power, and you are not really seeing that on the controller. It's easier to see. On this, I'm only just beating my time, 52.822. And yeah, you can still hit the walls even though you are in VR. So we are jumping out just to have a look. There's not really much to see. I would like to improve some more. And eventually I started to get some flow. I think this time I'm getting a 52.727, and I try to keep going, but I am unfortunately trying a bit too hard. I'm coming in at a weird angle, trying to get back on the power, and I'm on the grass and the car is gone. And this is one of those moments that can make you quite dizzy. I would like to get into the top 2%. And we are on for a 52.6, and I am going to rush a bit towards the final run of this video. This was a 1:52.634, and on the following lap I got myself, after surviving turn 1 and the rest of the lap, I got myself a 1:52.611. So we are parking the car and going to have a look for the final time before doing our final run. Only just squeezed into the top 2%, and this is the final run of this video and my best attempt so far. So as mentioned, looking for those yellow-orange tent thingies on the left-hand side. A dab on the brake, but release the brake as well so you can turn in. And this is just about lifting off shortly at just the right time. It's tricky to explain, but you have to sort of time it right with the hills you're coming over as well. Out of the tunnel in 4th gear, looking for the green stuff before the rock, and exiting in 3rd gear. There are a lot of corners where you sort of had to rotate the car before the apex and then accelerate past the apex in a straight line, straight for the exit of the corner. This, I think, was my best attempt so far, all in all, on that corner, and that is crucial for the entire lap because you have this long straight. I think that was the biggest part of this lap being an improvement over my other laps, because I'm still doing plenty of mistakes. Let's see, can we keep it towards the inside up to 4th gear coming over the hill. I am looking for the cone, and here you have to make sure you brake early enough because you have to release the brake in time so you can make the car turn into this right-hander and keep the car in check. Exiting in 3rd gear, down into 2nd gear, up to 3rd gear again. Still trying to straighten out the wheel. Now we are coming down towards the chicane. I'm looking for that last Texaco board on the left hand side. That was really a good marker for this one. And up to 3rd gear, a bit clumsy exit, but we are going across the finish line, and it is, when we get to it, going to be a 152.152. That is a pretty looking time, so I'll keep that for now. We are parking the car, and this is also where we are going to end this video for now. This was a proper challenge for me. It might be easy to some, it's definitely not easy for me. I think I can squeeze a 151 point something, a high 151 out of this one if I give it some more time. But for now, this will have to do. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.